All right, Glenda, so it's great that we finished reading this narrative paragraph together, and there were 3 that we read, and we underlined some key vocabulary words that you may not know about yet, but we'll talk about it. So which one would you like to learn about first?
Victorious.
Victorious. All right, so then victorious, that word sounds familiar, like it has a specific root word here. Victorious, victory, right?
Right.
What does victory mean?
It means to win.
To win. So if this team is victorious, that means that they are
Always winning.
then, so we understand what this whole passage was about. We have these 3 paragraphs. We can fill in our concept map. So with this map, we are going to figure out how all of these supporting ideas from each paragraph fill in that main idea. We'll first start with the title. What is the title of this passage?
Shoot.
And then we can look at our supporting idea for paragraph 1. So what is the first paragraph about?
Getting ready for a basketball game.
All right, and then how do you know they're getting ready for that basketball game?
I walk through the door. They say basketball game.
Perfect.
Then they say the line move, and then I ran to the court.
All right, so then you mentioned 3 great ones, so you could write, we'll flip this over.
Okay.
So you can write, all right, Glenda, so it's great that we filled out this whole concept map and you have each supporting idea for the main idea that you identified. So what was the main idea of the story?
They were playing to win or be victorious so they don't be in last place.
Exactly, yeah, because they want to win that game. So now I'm going to take this. So, do you think they won the game?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you know that?
Because it says it in the text.
It says it in the text. All right, so I'm going to bring our chart back for those details, and we still have the story. How do you think they won the game in those last moments?
They scored a point. They scored a layup.
They scored the layup.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because I see here that since they had the ball, the teammate passed the ball, and then he dribbled down the line, and then, what does it say right here?
Oh, but instead I shook him off and went for the basket.
Went for the goal. So based on what it said here, what about the other team? Do you think that they scored or could win the game?
No, they didn't score.
How do you know that?
Because it only talks about this team making a layup. They didn't talk about the other team.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, Glenda, so today we're going to work on our reading and understanding our reading again. And we're going to talk about one of your favorite animals, the axolotl. So remember, when we do this, we're going to use our thinking aloud. We're going to talk about what we're understanding as we go through the paragraph. Okay. So let's read this together. An axolotl is a type of salamander. So what do you know about the story now?
An axolotl is a type of salamander.
Perfect. Its name comes from the Aztec word Nahuatl, which means water monster. So what do you know about the story now?
Axolotls are named after an Aztec.
Great. Its population has shrunk considerably due to invasive fish species that compete with the axolotl for food, as well as eating axolotls. So what do we know now?
Their population keeps getting smaller.
Yeah. And do you know what this word invasive means?
There's too many of them.
So it means it's not actually found there. So fish that didn't come from that lake are now eating the axolotls and eating their food. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to talk about some big ideas. So what is an axolotl?
A salamander.
Perfect, yeah. And where can you find an axolotl?
In that one lake in Mexico.
Perfect, yeah. And do you think that axolotls are endangered species?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you know that?
Because it says it in the text.
So now we want to put that all together with the word because. So I'm going to ask you again. Do you think they're an endangered species?
Yes, because they keep getting eaten and the water's too dirty for them to live in.
Great.